Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Listen, my name is Ray Destin Jr., founder of BOBM Publishing, and we live for another episode of Book Talk Live. So with that being said, I kind of want to jump into it. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Those of you that are tuning in with me live, I appreciate you. Go ahead and drop some comments. Let me know that you're here with me. For those of you who will be tuning in, who are catching the replay, then those of you who are actually catching the replay, then go ahead and leave a comment that just says, "Hey, replay, I'm catching the replay," right? But today is actually a great topic because I have so many authors that these are the top questions that I get from existing authors, right? How are my books selling? That's a good question. And also, man, how do I really build my platform? Because I thought that, when my book came out, everybody was just gonna buy my book and it was just gonna go nationwide. It was gonna be like this huge bestseller, and everybody across the globe is just instantly gonna know my name, because I watched this movie, The Best Man, and in the movie, Hill Harper, or Harper Collins, I forget the dude's name, but he actually wrote a book and he got a chance to be on Oprah, and everybody turned it into a movie. Yeah, that's the long term, right? That's after you've actually built your platform. But as a new author, when you're actually building out your platform, there's a few things that you actually have to do. And so one of the first things, or let me back up, right? What we're going to do is give you some high level answers, break it down, and then come back and talk about each one of these in detail. So one of the first things for building your platform is you have to know what your brand is, right? You have to know what your brand is as an author. And there's a few things that we'll talk about inside of your brand. The next is you call yourself a professional, but you don't have a website yet. You haven't set up your author pages. You haven't set up your Facebook page. You haven't set up there's a few other places that you can actually go to build out your actual page. If you haven't done these things, you're still an amateur instead of a professional. Each one of you should be at the level of professional, especially if you're watching this. Next is your social media. Your social media is huge, especially these days. People are no longer looking for people in the phone book. Remember back in the day, you used to have to pick up this big book and it was yellow, and people would scroll through because they were looking for maybe you're looking for a mechanic, or maybe you're looking for a bookstore, or maybe you're looking for the pizza place. That's where you found it, was in the phone book. These days, people are looking on social media and searching for the things that you want to put out there. So social media is huge. Next, and this is how can you build an audience that you never talk to? You got to engage. And it's not just the audience, but there are also other people that you need to engage with as well. After you engage, how do you create content? I'm actually going to give you a little bit of game on how to create some content, and some content that will help to boost your platform. Some of the same things that I did back in, I want to say 2012, 2013, 2014, long time ago. So long before many of you even thought about writing a book, before any of you thought about building a platform, these were the steps that I took to start building mine. Next is The last, and this is your email list, right? It's your email list. A lot of people do not have one, but you rely on social media. Let's get into it, right? So, like I said, I'm gonna go high level, and then I'm gonna come back and break this stuff down for you because I want you to get these answers, and I want you to be able to be dangerous enough to go out there and actually make some money, make some things happen while you're building your audience. So the first thing that we talked about was defining your brand, and most people think brands are only for major companies. Well, guess what? As an author, you're an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you're building a business. As a business, you have to have a brand. Break that down any simpler? You can't, right? So what is the brand of an author? There's a few things that are going to determine your brand as a new author. One, who is your audience? Because if you know who your audience is, now you know how to talk to them. For me, I love my audience because the people that I enjoy working with, they got a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of hood, a little bit of gospel, and they love movies. These are the people that I can relate to, and they're all about business, right? So when we get into a conversation, we can jump in between any one of those topics without having the words, huh, ever come up. So you have to know who is specifically in your audience. If you are talking about being a business professional, right? There's levels when it comes down to business. Are you talking about entrepreneurs? Are you talking about multimedia or multi-level marketers? Are you talking about corporations? Are you talking about small companies? Are you talking about organizations? Who are you talking to? This is important. You have to know the specific person in your audience that you're talking to, because then you can have a great conversation with them. You know their language, they know your language, they understand you, you understand them. After you define your audience, and if you need to break it down, just put it in the chat. I need to know what a good audience looks like, or even one better. Go ahead and scan that QR code that's sitting right in front of you. Let's set up a consultation so we can talk about your actual audience and get you to the next level. Next thing is next thing inside of your brand is, what is your message? What's your message? A lot of people don't know their own message. They don't. They say, and this is what has happened to me so many times. People have come to me and they said, I want to write a book. What's your book about? What is your book about? I don't know. It's just been something that's been on my heart for years. Okay. What is the message inside of the book? Because you have to understand this about your audience. Your audience is looking for a few things. They're looking for who you are and what can I learn from you, especially if you're in the genre of nonfiction. If you're in the genre of nonfiction, self-help, motivation, everybody talks motivation all day. Go out and be great. You can do whatever you put your mind to. All you need is a dream and the action to go with it. That sounds great. But who specifically are you talking to? Because if you are talking to someone that cannot relate to you, your message is going to fall on deaf ears, right? And I don't want to get biblical on y'all, but it talks about it. If your message falls on deaf ears, then it's like the word falling on sand. It won't last, right? So what you want to do is make sure that your message is something that you stand behind, that you live on a consistent basis. Because when you are sharing your message with people, what they're going to do is they're going to say, oh man, I got so much from this, because they heard your voice. Your voice was speaking directly to them as your audience member, right? And that's the way that you start building that rapport. Because remember, even though it's a book, people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. This is business. And once they know, like, and trust you, you want to reach the next level. And that next level is love. Know, love, and trust. Once they get to that level, now you have an audience you have a member of your audience that's going to read everything that you put out because they trust you with their ears, they trust you with their time. They know that you're not going to waste either one of them because that message resonated directly with them. After you know who your audience is and you know your message, what is the impact that you're trying to leave, right? These are all things that are inside of it, and that impact is connected to your message, but it's not the same. Just because you told someone they can do anything, what do you want them to do? That's your call to action. That's part of your brand. What are you asking them to do as your audience member? When you know these things, now you can build a business side of it, right? And if you think it's not that deep, think about the last time that you went to McDonald's. You could probably smell the Big Mac just because I said McDonald's. You can probably smell the salt on the fries because I said McDonald's. There's a certain brand that goes with it. There's a certain level of service that they initially started off with, right? If you go to Walmart, Walmart has a brand. Target has a brand. If you go into a Michael Kors store, if you go into a Zales jewelry store, if you go into a K Jewelers, if you go into certain bookstores, you know what you can expect. If you go to Starbucks, each one of these companies have brands, and that brand is built around. If you look at my brand, anything I do has blue and gold in it. Blue represents royalty, gold represents wealth. Blue represents royalty and gold represents wealth. I don't know why other people choose blue and gold. Those are the reasons that I chose blue and gold. And so people begin to see that blue or that gold and they recognize those colors as, wait a minute, this is something that's connected to Sugar Ray and BOBM or CYD, which is my other company, or the motivational speaker, or that's the guy that was doing the youth program. Yeah, because this is my brand. This is what I do. Anything that I do it with passion and I do it with love. As an author, people need to know what you stand for and what you represent as well. So pick, if you want to get it that deep, go into your colors because now you can also match it up with your logo, match it up with your signature. When you post something online, how does it look? Is there a certain font? Is there a certain style? People begin to know you for your brand. This is important when it comes down to social media. We'll talk about that and we'll touch on that later. Next thing is your website, right? Here's a mistake that I see so many new and existing authors do. They don't even have a website for themselves, right? And how can you send somebody if you are an author? And I'm going to say this lesson on every video. I promise you I'm going to say it on every video because I need you to hear it. As an author, you are an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you want to touch your money first. So you don't need to be sending people to a link to Amazon to purchase your book or to Barnes and Noble because they have all the clout. Yeah, they have all the clout and they're making the money first. You want to send them specifically to a place that they can find out more about you as the author. That's your website. That's your website. That's your website. Those are also your social media pages. Your social media pages. I did not say your social media profile. I said your social media pages. What's the difference? On a social media page, you can actually run ads. You can actually host events. You can do a lot more on that social media page. So if you are on Facebook and you don't have a Facebook business page yet, you need to take a moment and go set one up. If you're an author and you have not went over to Amazon and set up an Amazon Author Central page, you need to go set one up. If you are connected to bookstores and you haven't set up a page on their website and your book is hosted there, then guess what? You need to do that. It's not to calculate how many books are being sold. It's so that your fan base can actually get to know you as an actual author. They want to know about things that are happening in your life. They want to know about upcoming events. They want to know about your next project. They want to know more about you. And this is also where your website comes in. Your website is the place that you would house information specifically about you. What should be on an author website? One, your bio. Your bio. People need to know who you are, what you've done, and your accomplishments and the services that you offer. That should be included inside of your bio. That should be included inside of your bio. Now, the next thing that they need to have outside of the bio, you need to have a professional picture of you. I did say professional. Listen, we take selfies for Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok all day, but you need to take a moment as a professional author and go get a professional photo shoot done. I got to shout out a few photographers that I know that have helped me along this journey. One of those is, I just call him Jay, right? He's on Facebook, ABC Photography. I met him through Saul Paul. Um, grateful to this guy, because he said, man, he said, Suge, you're doing so much good work in the community, the work that you were doing with the kids, and now all the stuff that you're doing with the books. I want to bless you with a photo shoot. He blessed me with a photo shoot. He gave me a photo shoot for free. Now, if there's any people in Austin that need photos done, professional photos, quality photos, I'm going to send you off to Jay Jones. The reason being, he does amazing work. He does amazing work, and he makes you look like, I'm not that handsome of a dude. He made me look kind of attractive, so I give him a huge shout out. Right, in Houston, one of my guys, I went to high school with him, and he does some amazing photos as well. Omar Macbeth, Mac of All Access Photography. He does some great work out here in the Houston area. Um, one of the authors, and I cannot remember his last name, so forgive me for this, bro. But his first name is Chris. He does amazing photos, and he helps with some of the photo shoots for the authors that are in North Houston. So, with all this being said, there are plenty of photographers out there. If you are in the Florida area, holla at my dude Devin Coleman. Devin D. Coleman does amazing photos. He posts pics and does it all the time. These are the things that they love doing. If you have not found a professional photographer, guess what? At least take a professional photo. Get yourself these iPhones, and these Androids have some amazing cameras and some amazing features. Check out the live videos on Instagram that my sister Nikki Saunders does. She gives you some amazing tips about how to get that content together. As a matter of fact, go ahead and register for her class with Deeper Than the Brand. They actually have a course that will teach you how to go viral with your post. Um, Look it up, Deeper Than the Brand, Nikki Saunders. With that being said, your website needs to have a place for your photos. Another thing that your website needs to have is a list of the services that you offer. A list of the services that you offer. The reason that you want to have that list of services is because what if somebody comes to your website and they're looking for you, or they're looking on Google, they're looking on whatever search engine, and they're looking for the top person in your field, and they find you. You need to have information about the services that you actually offer. The reason that you want to have the list of those services that you offer, because your book opens the door. Those services will get you in. Your book opens the door. Those services will get you in. The fact that I have several books makes me an author. The fact that I have services to go with it makes me a motivational speaker. It makes me a coach. It allowed me to do youth programs. And still, there's so much more that's left on the table. Soon, more projects to come. But you need to have a list of those services on your website as an author. That way, people can either go to it and look you up, or they can send you an email and come back and book you for the service that they want. And here's the last but most important thing that you need to have on your website as an author: a place for them to buy your books. A place for them to buy your books. And I'm laughing as I'm saying this, but a lot of people don't have a place for people to go and actually purchase their books as an author. If you are a new or experienced author and people cannot go to your website and purchase your books, you're leaving money on the table. And I want to make sure that you didn't miss that point. On your profile, on your website, you need to have your bio, you need to have a list of your services, you need to have professional quality photos, and you need to have a place for them to purchase copies of your book. Now, if you like to write and you just want to write all the time, you can have a blog on there. If you do podcasts, you can drop the link to your podcast on that. If you have other things that you do on a consistent basis, you can put that right there on your author website. These are things that you need to have. And then you also, going back to it, you need to have those social media pages for authors. The few places that I did mention, Facebook, you need to have a page, not just a profile. You also can set one up on LinkedIn if you choose. If you have already registered your business, you can set up a business page there. But you need to have a professional page on Instagram, TikTok, if you're going to use these services. But that's not where most authors are located. Where readers are looking for you are going to be on Amazon, Author Central. Again, it's Amazon, Author Central. Goodreads, because there's a lot of people that read books and like to leave those reviews, and they go over to Goodreads. And also look at the bookstores and see if you can set up an author profile page on those bookstores so that people can find you as a author, right? So these are just a few of the things that we want to touch on. I got about 4 more key points to help you to build your platform as an author. You don't want to miss it. But in the meantime, I got to go to a commercial, take care of the company that takes care of me. Quick word. See y'all right back in about two.
My experience with BOBM has been transformative. I have loved working with this group. We have seen so many trainings since I've been involved with BOBM where I am able to come in and just learn about not only what it takes to write or what it takes to maintain that writing, but also different ways to market yourself, different ways to be successful while still writing and doing what you love. So I've gotten a lot of training. I get videos and things to go back and look at just to kind of remember what our conversations were. We get different tools that we can use, and we get so much information on that training piece that you can't help but leave BOBM with all this experience and all this know-how. And so my time with BOBM has been extremely valuable.
Oh man, listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. That young lady, Kristen Davis, is now a 4-time Amazon #1 best-selling author, and she will be releasing her first solo book, Honoring Austin, on March 25th of this month, March 25th. 3 weeks from now, her book will be out. So make sure you tune in, check out some of the things that she's doing. She's hosting the Winning Mindset podcast along with Miss Monica Nisi Earl Washington. They're doing some amazing things, and I'm so proud of her. She is actually a fully degreed mental health specialist. So for those of you that actually do need that counseling, you may want to reach out to her on that level as well. No shade, no cap, right? Next, let's get back into this. Building your platform as an author. I get excited when I talk about building your platform as an author because I remember what it was like building my platform from scratch. And a lot of it was scary because I didn't know what was going to happen, but I just let it float. Right. And when I say I let it float, I actually put in the work. I put in the time to actually get myself to the point that people began to know me. But it wasn't just because of what I was doing online. It was because of the things that I was doing offline that made a huge difference. So when we talk about building your platform, we already talked about defining your brand. We already talked about having author pages and a website. Now let's talk about your social media. Your social media, your social media, your social media. This is a key point for authors, for any person who calls themselves an entrepreneur, right? On social media, yes, I love the cat videos. I love the funny videos. I love the memes. If you're building your business, then you need to treat it as such. People need to know what it is that you do. People need to know that you have a book, whether that book is already out or the book is coming. Either one of those things that you're promoting, you need to start putting that online. And I don't mean every post needs to be about your book. Every post needs to be about the launch. Every post needs no. Sprinkle it in a little bit. Sprinkle it in a little bit. But you want to make sure, let's say you post 5 times a week. One of those posts needs to be about your book. At least one. Here's the reason why. You don't want to overwhelm people by only talking about your book, but you do want to keep it in their minds. People have short attention spans these days, right? We live in a microwave age where everything comes like this. Everything happens fast. But there are several million books that are already out there, and now you're adding your one book into the atmosphere. That's a good idea, but people don't remember that you have a book 2 months from now. They don't remember that you have a book 2 weeks from now, because guess what's happened in the span of their timeline. Your book showed up for a second. Next thing you know, there's somebody who's talking about a party. There's somebody who's talking about condolences in their family. There's somebody who's sick. There's somebody who shared a meme. There's somebody else who's talking about a TV show. There's another discussion that they jumped into. They got groups going on over here. They have life happening over here. They forgot that your book was out there. So you have to keep it fresh in the minds of people. One thing that I remember, and I love I loved when I used to see this. My little sister, Destiny Inspire, Destiny King Cannon, she would always do this. She would post something, and then probably 3-4 months later, she'd come back and she'd repost it, or she'd leave a comment on her own post. And what that does is it puts it at the top of people's feeds. So once it's at the top of people's feeds, they can see it again, right? Keep it fresh in the mind of your reader. Keep it fresh in the minds of the audience, because someone may not read what you are writing, but they may know someone else who reads books specific to your genre. They may know someone else who's looking for stories of triumph and overcoming that mirror exactly what you are talking about. These are the things that you want to put out there, but you also need that support of people. Just because they don't like it, just because they don't comment, just because they don't drop a heart or they don't drop a laugh, that doesn't mean that they didn't see it. That does not mean that they didn't see it. It's your business. Keep posting about it. It's your business. Keep talking about it. It's your book. Keep it in their face. But don't be annoying with it, right? So maybe 1 out of every 5 to 7 posts should be about your book, should be about the things that you're doing. What type of things are you posting? From your book, you can take a 3D image of your a professional 3D image of your book and attach a quote, attach a picture of yourself with holding your book, attach a picture of somebody else. If somebody buys your book, one of the young ladies that went through the BOBM course, she does a great job at this, Miss Heather Renee. Anytime somebody purchases a book from her, and they do it every week, she will post a picture of them holding the book and say, "Thank you to so and so for purchasing a copy of the book. The book is still selling, y'all. Make sure you have your copy in hand." Something that simple, because what people want is they want to be a part of something. So if they see that other people are buying it, they want to know how can they buy it. If nobody's buying it, then why would they be the first one to the party? Right? Think about it. When you were in high school or in college and you went to a party and you got there too early, you probably left and came back because you wanted to be there when everybody was there so that you can either make an entrance or kind of disappear in the crowd. You didn't want to be the first and you didn't want to be the last. The same thing happens with people. So post pictures of your book. When you sell a book, thank people publicly for purchasing your book. Thank them on your social media. Um, Create quotes from your book. If there's a PowerPoint, ask questions that are related to the topics in your book. Comment on other people's posts that are talking about books or that are talking about other things that are out there. These are just a few of the things. I can go way more in depth about social media and your book, but you got to enroll in the BOBM, the Business of Books Mastermind course to learn everything that I can give you, right? Next thing is engage. Engage your audience. Engage your audience. Engage your audience. I think we live in the most connected, disconnected time ever in history, right? We have access to so many different platforms. We have access to Facebook. We got access to LinkedIn. We got access to Twitter. We got access to TikTok. We got access to YouTube. We got access to Instagram. The list goes on and on and on. And what people have forgotten is basic conversation still rules. Basic conversation still rules. So if somebody likes your post, leave them a comment. Thank you for liking. Send them a message. But on other people's posts, comment, like, talk, share. When you share other people's posts, guess what they're going to do in return? 9 times out of 10, they may come back and at least drop a like on your post. If you drop something relevant, engage in groups. If you are a writer and you're not connected to different author groups that are on Facebook or LinkedIn or any of the other platforms, then you're missing the opportunity to connect with those who are in the same vein and in the same mindset as you. These things are important. These things are important. Make sure you're liking, you're commenting, and you're engaging. Every once in a while, if you are trying to get your book out there, do a free giveaway. For everybody that comments, I'll give you a free chapter. Or for the 10th person that likes this, or the 100th person that likes this, I'm giving away a free copy of the book and a few other free giveaways. Just something simple. Engage people. Engage. Nobody likes going to a dead page. And if you have content that keeps them engaged, keeps them motivated, keeps them inspired, gives them value on a consistent basis, they'll come back to your page again and again and again because they're looking for the exact thing that you're putting out there, right? So listen, these are just a few of the tips. We got a few more tips coming up, but I do want to introduce y'all to something that is out now. Bestseller University. It is an online training platform. Listen, if you haven't heard about it, you need to hear about it. Here's a quick word from Bestseller University. Hey, everybody. My name is Ray Destin Jr. I'm the founder and CEO of BOBM Publishing. We've helped over 400 new beginners become best-selling authors, not just best-selling authors, #1 best-selling authors. And so a lot of times we hear from people that haven't written their book or people that have already written their book and the buzz is gone. How do I keep this buzz going? Or how do I write my first book? Well, we've listened. We've heard you. And we've taken the time to go back and create a university specifically for authors. It's called Bestseller University. The enrollment is opening up on March 1st. So less than two weeks from now, you'll be able to enroll in Bestseller University. Now, is this done for you, publishing? No, this is all information that you can do at your own pace. Self-paced courses that teach you how to write a book, how to market the book. And if you want that group or one-on-one feel, we have some additional courses that are coming. We're bringing back our flagship course, the Business of Books Mastermind, which helped so many people to understand how to brand, how to market, how to build an audience, and the opportunities that come from your book. So this is exclusively for you. If you've been sitting on the couch and you've been waiting on that opportunity to get your book out there, get it in front of the right people, and maximize those opportunities, Bestseller University is for you. There will be an investment for it, but once again, most of the courses in Bestseller University are self-paced. We want you to succeed as new authors because, believe it or not, we didn't start with 400 number one best-selling authors. We started with a dream. We started with a plan. We started with fear in our hearts, just like you started. And from authors who've been there and done it to now teaching you the strings and the ropes so that you don't have to go through the years and the months and the days and the weeks of trying to figure it out for yourself. We put it all together for you in one platform so that you can go in for yourself and a self-paced time. And if you decide that you want to publish on your own, by all means, the guides will be there. If you decide that you want to work with BOBM Publishing, by all means, you'll have access to our exclusive Facebook group, Bestseller University. But all we ask is that you take a look and take it serious. This is your opportunity to take it to the next level. Don't sleep on yourself. And remember, everybody has a story. It's time to write yours. We love you guys and look forward to seeing you inside of Bestseller University. Oh man, listen, that guy looks so familiar. For those of you who are serious about taking your career to the next level, I see some things out there for new authors. Come to the source and get that training so that you can actually write that first book, you can get it published, and you can take yourself to the next level. No cap. No shade, no cap, none of that. Next, let's get back to it because I get excited about this. If you notice, I talk a little bit faster when I'm excited. And the reason that I get so excited about building an author platform is because there are so many things that can come from you being a professional author that most people leave on the table because they have not taken the time to take it serious. They haven't built their platform properly. They haven't done the legwork, and they get out there and all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, what am I doing? I have this book, I have this amazing opportunity, but I don't know how to maximize it. You have to build your platform properly. A few things that I did want to mention, and I'm going back to social media real quick because we talked about the four things already: defining your brand, having your website and author pages, your social media, and then engaging your audience and engaging with other authors. When it comes down to social media, as a new person on social media who's talking about your platform, I recommend that you post at least 3 times a day. There's so many scheduling tools out there that you can use to schedule your posts. If you have professional pages, each one of these platforms do have scheduling tools that you can use so that you don't have to go and pay another platform to post on someone on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on Instagram or any of that. If you have those professional pages, they already have tools built in for you to be able to schedule your post, and you can go out and schedule as far out as 3 to 6 months on some platforms. Depends on how you actually do it. But like I said, I recommend posting at least 3 times a day. What I used to do personally, I used to post at about 7 in the morning because that's when all your early risers are getting up. And I used to post at noon because guess what? Everybody's taking lunch. And once people are taking lunch from their jobs, what are they doing? Oh, let me get back on Facebook. Let me see what's going on. Right. And then I would always post about either 5 or 7. I actually posted like 5 times a day, 5, 7, 12, 5, and 7. The reason that I did those specific hours, that 5 and that 7, 5 o'clock, people are driving home, and or they're just getting off work. And when they just get off work, what are they doing? They're looking on social media. So that's a good time to catch their eye. 7 o'clock, they're sitting down in front of the TV. And 9 times out of 10, even though your favorite show is on, we've all been in the room with people watching their favorite shows, but at the same time, they're doing this. They're playing around on their phone. So, and usually when they're playing on their phone, they're playing around on social media. These are great times to capture your audience. There's tools out there that can help you see when the best time to post, when your audience is going to be on, etc. But I recommend a minimum of 3 posts every single day. That way, if you're doing 3 posts every single day, guess what? If I just said between every 5 and 7 posts, now at least once a day, you're posting about your book. But you're not only posting about your book, you're posting about other things as well. Use that time to motivate them, inspire them, give them some resources, and then let them know that you have a book. Give them some inspiration, give them some motivation, give them some tools that are adding value to their life. Post about your book. You see the cycle. And then when it comes down to engaging, one thing that I love to do, and I didn't say this before, was anytime I read a book, and 9 times out of 10, the books that I'm reading are by some great New York Times bestselling authors, or Wall Street Journal, or USA Today bestselling authors. I'm reading the top books that are in the industry because I want to connect with the top people. And what do I do afterwards? I'll send them a friend request, or I'll send them a contact request. And usually, one thing about authors is that even though they've reached a certain status, they usually connect within minutes once they see that I'm an author as well, and also a publisher. So connect with those people who are in your field, and they will also offer you some tips on engaging your audience. Next, let's talk about creating content. And I just gave you a lot of information about what you can post on social media. I really want to break social media down. Let me give you at least the top platforms, right? So when you're thinking about your audience, think about the age that your audience is. Now, social media is broken down into cool kids club all the way up to dinosaurs, right? And when I say dinosaurs, it's not a bad thing, but it's just people that aren't really as social media savvy, so they hang out in certain places. Me, I'm not big on social media. So whereas I used to be on everything, I used to be on Instagram, I used to be on Twitter all the time, I used to be on LinkedIn all the time, I used to be on Snapchat, I was trying to keep up with everything that was moving, right? Now I kind of fit in that category of you're gonna find me on Facebook, you're gonna find me on LinkedIn. Those are really the 2 platforms that I'm connecting on, because I'm connecting for a purpose. If I'm on Facebook, then I'm looking to inspire. These are my people. These are people that I know, like, trust, and I love. A lot of people that I grew up with, a lot of people I went to school with, a lot of people that are family. So that's the reason that I'm on Facebook. Your Facebook crowd is going to really be anybody from the ages of, I want to say, 25 and up is going to be on Facebook. It's the granddaddy of them all. But this is where you can find your audience if you have a Facebook page. If you have a Facebook page, you can run those Facebook ads. Those Facebook ads allow you to choose who you're targeting. Make sure you know who your audience is. You know who they are. You know what age they are, what cities they're located in, what their hobbies or interests, what are they passionate about, what you can't post about income on there, but what career fields are they in. These are things that help you to narrow your focus and narrow the ad spend that you're putting out there on Facebook. Next is we're gonna go in the Facebook family and we go to Instagram. Instagram is more the cool kids club when it comes down to Facebook, right? Because that's where you see a lot more pictures and videos. Every once in a while, you'll see just a quick post that has a video behind it or something like that. But On Instagram, this is where people are going. They're looking for the quick reels. They're looking for the quick information. So this is going to be anywhere from 15, and I say 15 because I got a son that's on Instagram. 15 all the way up to around the mid 50s is what's going to be on Instagram. So if you are targeting anyone in that age range, you also want to include Instagram in your social media. Going back to old platforms that are still relevant, YouTube. Most people do not think of YouTube as a social media platform, but it actually is. If you are doing it right, then people are looking for certain things on a consistent basis. And what do people always see? I hear my go-getter say it all the time. I went to Dr. Google or YouTube University. YouTube University is definitely a place. You can look up just about anything. You can find a video on how to. You can find motivation. You can find church. You can find your favorite songs. You can find movies. You can find audiobooks. You can find just about anything. People that are looking for something specific are going over to YouTube and doing a search. Google and YouTube are like the top two search engines. And guess what? They're both owned by the same company, Google. Google realized that YouTube was gaining traction, and they said, "Hey, you know what? We like the way y'all think. Y'all becoming competition. Let us buy you." And they bought them out. So YouTube is actually owned by Google. Next is Snapchat. Now, if you're doing something for the youngsters, or Snapchat is really more of a younger crowd, right? And when I say it's a younger crowd, the only time that I've seen older people on Snapchat is if they fix and they makeup with the filters on Snapchat. So if you are looking for the younger crowd, I want to say the 35 and under, then Snapchat is going to be a place that you can put content. But the thing about Snapchat is that your content is only up for 24 hours and then it disappears. So you got to stay on top of that. Next is Twitter. Twitter is going to be for I want to say for your educators, for your entertainers, for your athletes. And there are business professionals on there. College students, a lot of college students are on Twitter. The thing about Twitter is that you only have about 100 and I think it's like 140 characters that you can put up. I think they actually doubled it. No, 256 characters is what you can put up on Twitter. So you can either put up a quick video, you can put up a quick post, you can put up pictures, and Twitter is ran by hashtags, just like Instagram. And I forgot to mention that Instagram, Twitter, even Facebook is starting to be ran by hashtags. Put a hashtag this if you're looking for this type of content. Create your own hashtag. That's one of the things that you can do. Next is in the age range for Twitter, you're looking at probably, I want to say around 15 all the way up to probably about 50, 55 is Twitter. One of my favorite authors is actually on Twitter, Stephen King. Follow him, and he does he's funny. I'm just gonna leave it there. He's funny in a very, very dry humor type of way. Next is if you are serious about your business, you want to be on LinkedIn. The reason that I say LinkedIn is where your professionals, where your decision makers are, people that are actually looking to change. Maybe they're looking at career changes. Maybe they're looking at becoming the best in their career. Maybe they're following industry leaders. They're going to be on LinkedIn. Your decision makers are looking on LinkedIn because this is where the professionals hang out. You're not going to find people. You're going to find people's actual names, and some of them have their business titles up there on LinkedIn. This is going to be from about 21, because a lot of college students have gathered the idea that I need to be on LinkedIn because I'm starting to get into the job market. So they're on LinkedIn. But 21 to about maybe 65 is going to be on LinkedIn. And again, those are usually your decision makers that are there. The busier they are, the less active they are on LinkedIn, but they are still checking because they want to see that you are who you say you are. So if you're posting about your book, you have content, you can find them. You can find those decision makers that are connected to the groups that work with your audience right there on LinkedIn. And then the last one is the new kid on the block, but the fun kid on the block. You guessed it. TikTok, tick tock, tick tock, tock, tick. Right? TikTok is where there are a lot of funny videos, a lot of informational videos. They even have a section called Book Talk. So if you're an author and you aren't on TikTok yet, you need to set up a page and start following other authors that are doing well. Some authors are actually making thousands of dollars by being engaged and having a following right there on TikTok. It doesn't matter the platform that you choose, but it does matter that you stay consistent with your social media posting, with your social media approach. And then here's the last one for you. Here's the last one. Actually, before we go into the last one, I just want to do it one time because I wanted to hear this from my from my brother. Actually, no, I'm not gonna go to my brother. This is an oldie but goodie. This young lady came to us when she actually had two books. One was already out and one she was waiting to publish. And we did some rebranding for her and took her from it just being out to correcting the insides of it and relaunching her. So is another quick testimonial for you. Be right back with you in about 2 and 2.
Just really quickly, Sugar Ray, I actually have something that I just want to say to you. Try not to get all emotional, but I thank you. Is people come in your life at various times, whether it be a season, a lifetime, and I never expected to get to this point where I'm at right now. And these accountability calls have really just held me accountable. So I guess it's a good name to have, accountability calls. Is your spirit is just really powering, and it made me want to go further. I never thought about trying to have a business or seeing myself like actually going through these phases, and your words of encouragement have actually really just inspired me. So I thank you very much.
Hey, listen, Linda, listen. That young lady, Miss Erica Newman, she actually did relaunch that book to #1, and as you saw, that was an oldie but goodie because we were right around 200 bestsellers. We're now over 400 Amazon #1 best-selling authors. So I appreciate each and every one of you that has allowed us to work with you to help you achieve your goal of becoming an Amazon #1 best-selling author. We still got way more to come. The goal is to at least get to 1,000 and keep those numbers going because there's so many lives that need to be changed and so many lives that need to be impacted. Now, here's the last one for you. As we talk about building your author platform, you gotta have this or you're not doing it right. You gotta have an email list. You have to have an email list. And the reason that I say you have to have an email list is because this is where you can actually host those conversations with other people, not other people, but your specific audience, right? And so if you think about it, in the past few years, I want to say in the past 5 years at least, the top platforms have went down at least once. Facebook and Instagram went down in the same day. They actually went down twice in the same year. And a lot of people were panicking, like, oh my God, all my businesses on Facebook, all my businesses on Instagram. What am I going to do? Right? This is a real thing for people who are entrepreneurs, because if you're building your platform and you're only building your platform on those social media channels, guess what's going to happen? If those platforms were to ever go bankrupt, they would ever go down, somebody hacked your account. And this happened to me. Somebody hacked my Facebook account and recently tried to do it again with the new one that I built. Stop it. Right? But once that account went down, from a personal side, I lost a lot of great contacts, a lot of people that I'm connected to that are power hitters. Here's the great thing about it. I know how to connect with the people that I'm connected to because I actually build genuine connections. So there were people that I did lose, and then there were people that I'm still connected to. We just not connected on social media the same way. But if you are only relying on social media to build your brand, you're doing it wrong. You have to have an email list where you can actually communicate with those people who are picking up what you're putting down, right? If you are talking about a specific subject and they subscribe to your email list, then 9 times out of 10 they want to hear more. So as an author, you need to have an email list in which you're communicating with your audience on a consistent basis, once a week, twice a week, at least once a month, where you're sharing information, sharing tips, sharing content, sharing information about upcoming events, sharing information about upcoming projects. If you had a speaking engagement, let them know. They want to celebrate with you. They want to be able to tell others that they are connected to you. And this is a direct connection to your audience. So you can build your email list as large as you want to. Here's a quick tip for building your email list. Give them something of value in exchange for the email. That's it. Give them something of value in exchange for the email. Give them a free guide. Give them a free ebook. Give them a chapter out of your book. Give them a free video, something that you did. Give them a video series, a free training course, whatever it is, in exchange for their email, and let them know, hey, I want to continue communicating with you on a regular basis. If I send you this and you drop your email, then that is telling me that you want me to continue sending information, but also give them a place where they can unsubscribe if they choose to. If the content that you're dropping is great, then guess what's going to happen? They won't unsubscribe because they're going to be locked in to the information that you're sharing with them. Build your email list so that over time, yes, you can share your accomplishments. Yes, you can share upcoming events. Yes, you can share upcoming projects, but you can also share upcoming coaching programs that you have, upcoming books that you have, upcoming speaking engagements, upcoming things that you're getting ready to drop. Maybe you want to drop merchandise, and these are going to be people that are loyal fans of you. They are loyal readers of your work. Now, that goes into more that you can do, but build that email list, right? So as we talked about building your platform as an author, I shared a few things with you, and I'm just going to do a quick recap for you because I want to make sure that you get this. One of the first things is build your brand, right? You have to know what your brand is. Define what your brand is. Your brand is going to be your audience, your message, and the impact. And also, if you want to get into it and get complicated, or go into a more advanced level, then it's going to be the color scheme that you use. It's going to be the imagery that you use. It's going to be your logo. All of these things go into who you are. If you see behind me, anytime I'm doing these videos, Book Talk Live, you're going to see my office. And the office tells you who I am. I'm about persistence. I'm about the grind. I'm about perseverance, hustle, success. I execute at a high level. I don't speak the language of mediocrity because I haven't been mediocre since I was a kid, right? I've been 6'7" for a long time. So I've had to learn to walk in a different lane than everybody else. They told me when I was a kid, I couldn't even play in certain things because I was too tall for it. So I had to learn how to be non-mediocre, ambitious entrepreneur. That's who I am. That's what I display. Your brand speaks volumes about you. After you have built your brand, you need to have an author website and author pages on social media. Not a profile, but actual pages on Facebook, pages on Instagram, business pages. And you also need to set up your author page on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, any other bookstore that allows you to, as well as Goodreads. These are important because this is where people are looking for authors. They're not just looking for them on social media. They're looking for them where authors are found. Next is your social media. Make sure that you are putting content out there and you're engaging your audience consistently. Create content that adds value to your audience and let them know how they can get your book. And then the last thing is just building that email list. Build an email list so that you can communicate with them offline, right? Because even though social media is powerful and it's the way that everybody engages, what happens when social media goes away? You want to be able to connect with your audience. So again, listen, I do these videos not for me. I do these videos for you because I want to see everybody win at a high level. Don't send people to Amazon to purchase your book. If you are an author, send them to your website. Connect with your audience. Connect with your audience. Listen, if you have a book in you and you've been thinking about it and it's just sitting there and you don't know how to get it out, go ahead and do me a favor. Scan that QR code right there. Set up that appointment so we can talk. And let's figure out how we can get you from having a dream of being a published author to turning it into an actual reality where you are now a best-selling author, right? Listen, that's my time with you guys. I love you all to the moon and beyond. My name is Ray Destin Jr., founder of BOBM Publishing. Like I said, we've launched over 400 authors to #1 on Amazon. You should be next because everybody has a story. It's time to write yours. Love you guys to life.